Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to episode number 23 in our All of Fabric 5 modded Minecraft series. We've reached the point where we have lots of little projects we've done that are just kind of jammed into corners here and there and need to be finished up and made to look better and made to work a little better. Today, the first one we're going to work on is our power system. We did some upgrades behind the scenes to get more power for our deep mob learning system because we needed it to be a little higher, and so we're going to go over those changes and possibly do a few more changes. And the big thing we're going to do today is set up our automated system for generating lava. As far as the changes we made, the magmators we've just upgraded to the Niotic tier. The Niotic tier gives us 100 FE per tick and allows us to transfer out a maximum of 400 FE per tick. The cabling back here we left at the blazing level because it can handle 800 FE per tick. So this can only transfer out 400. There's no sense in wasting materials to upgrade the cable just yet because it can handle whatever we're putting through it. Our energy cell is Niotic. It is able to transfer 4,000 FE per tick and it holds 4 million. And then the cable coming out of it, we are using the Niotic level 2 because it does 2,000 FE per tick, and that's all the power we need for the moment to send what we need. We're not using more than that in our deep mob learning system, and these blazing energizing rods only do 200 apiece. So all of these are things that we can upgrade in tiers. And so what I have done during the last episode is I changed our recipes in here, and this is my section for power, and each of these are set up in a specific way where, starting with the capacitors, they use the capacitors before to craft the new ones, so that way we're not wasting materials and leaving them in the system. Like, for example, with the energy cables, when we're crafting the Niotic energy cables, you can either craft them directly using Niotic crystals and you get more for doing it that way, or you can craft it this way, which uses less resources but only gives you 6, and it uses up the blazing cables in the process. When our system needs more blazing cables than we have, it knows how to make those, and it does the same thing where it uses up the hardened cables and then it uses up the basic and the starter cables. So that way we're not leaving energy cables in our system all over the place. So for example, we still have some of these older cables in the system. So we have starter, basic, and hardened. We haven't used them up yet. I'm going to craft 12 of these Niotic energy cables. It knows how to do all the things it needs. When it does that, it's going to use up 6 of the blazing cables, which is what we have left in the system, and it's going to use some hardened to make the ones that we need to craft. So we can use up all of our old resources as we go to craft the different items that we need. Pretty nice. When it comes to our energy cells and our magmators themselves, we do the same thing. It uses the old ones in the system. So basically, when I go to upgrade from Niotic up to the next tier for the magmators, and if we look at that, the next tier after Niotic is Spirited, which uses emeralds to generate even more power. I think it generates up to 400 a piece, which is pretty impressive. We can set it so that it'll use the Niotic magmator as a start. So we'll just grab one of the ones that we have, we'll put it in the system, and we'll run the crafting to upgrade that rather than crafting it all the way from the start. In fact, we can add that as a recipe right now so you can see how that works. And so all we would do is put this in here as the next tier right here. And we could do the same thing for our energy cells. Oops. Energy cell, spirited one, This one actually uses 2 of the niotics. And so we could tell it to make that. Put it in here. Oop, not in there, in here. Come down here. And upgrade it here. So now if I go to request an energy cell, and I want one of the spirited ones, it's going to use the pieces that I already have. Of course, I don't have enough diamonds, and I haven't taught it how to make the spirited capacitor yet. So we'll go in here, and we will do spirited capacitor. That uses the large capacitor and the crystals. I know for a fact it doesn't know how to make these crystals, so let's teach it how to make spirited crystals as well. We're going to use the energizing orb recipe. So then if we go down, the capacitor goes here. This goes into our energizing orb. And just to keep it on track, I've been putting these in. Actually, no, let's put them in the other way around, because that way it's set for the future. So they go increasing in tier. So now all we have left is the energy cable at the spirited level. And we can teach the system, and we're going to use this recipe where it uses the niotic cables. We go down and we add that in. So now our system knows how to make everything up to the spirited level. Let me move this down just so I have space. The spirited level for the magmators, the energy cells, the energy cables, and our capacitors. If we wanted to go to the next level, oops, first of all, we would need to spell capacitor correctly. We would need to go to the nitro. So let's just do that to add the recipe. The problem is that in order to craft this in here first. In order to craft the nitro capacitor, that we need to go to that tier. We need nitro crystals. The nitro crystals are going to use nether stars, which I don't have yet. And use a whole block of blazing crystals too. So that's at least when we do that, it takes an entire block of blazing crystals and a nether star, but we get 16 of them. But we are not at the point where we have nether stars yet. I don't know if we have. I wonder if we have a recipe we could do it with. I guess if we got wither skeleton skulls, we could craft them using extraterrestrial matter, but we don't have that yet either. Anyway, if we go in here, our crafting is finished of those cables for the niotic level. Let's just see what it would take for us to craft one of these spirited cables. We actually have everything that we need. Let's go ahead and do it. It's going to craft 6, I believe, because I think that's how many they come in a recipe. But if we go back up, now that we've added those recipes in, you can see this is doing its thing, creating the crystals that we need. And so you can see how the process is just a matter of taking what we've already have set up and just adding to it. And so the basis we have for our auto crafting has made it so it's a lot easier to expand to the next tier. As far as our lava generation goes, we're going to use a process that starts off with a cobblestone generator. And so I have been teaching the system how to make cobblestone generators. They go all the way up to Mark 5s, which are netherite tier. For now, we're just going to grab our Mark 2, which is the highest one we can craft at the moment. If we want to go to Mark 3, we need to put a lot of lava, a lot of water in the system. Actually, that's all we would need. Let's see what it would take to do the Mark 3. Put that back in. All we're missing is 5 buckets of lava and 4 buckets of water. We can do that, no problem. Let's do that quick. We should set it up so that the system can make its own buckets of lava and buckets of water, and we will at some point. So what did we say? I needed cobblestone generator Mark III. We're missing 5 lava, 4 water. So water we can get right here. Lava we can get from here. Put those into our system. Let's make a Mark III cobblestone generator. So what we're crafting right here is the Mark III cobblestone generator. It's going to just take time for it to do all the things. Shouldn't take more than a minute. And then we're also making an electric mixer, which is waiting on steel production, which is a little slow at the moment, but it's slowly making its way through making what we need. So for the cobblestone generator, let's grab the Mark III out. And we'll set it right here for now just so we can look at it. It internally makes cobblestone. The Mark III makes cobblestone at 3.2 cobblestone per second. We're making the electric mixer. The other thing we need is a furnace to turn cobblestone into stone. We're just going to use a bronze furnace, which we can craft. So we're going to wait for this system to get done making the electric mixer and the bronze furnace, but I will show you the process we're going to use while we're waiting on those items. So to generate lava using the electric mixer, we have lava in the electric mixer as well as steam, which is what powers it. Or actually electric, since it's the electric mixer, not a steam mixer. But we have it connected to our electric system, which we already have set up for modern industrialization. So the lava that's in here does not get consumed. We add in 1 piece of stone. It uses a total of 40k EU, and then it generates us 50 millibuckets of lava. That lava can then be put back into our system, which will be exported to be used by our power system. So basically what we're doing is, wrong side. Over here I have a large steam boiler, which is taking the coal that we have and generating steam. I have a steam turbine over here that is taking that steam and generating EU. That EU is powering our systems. So I can put the mixer in here somewhere. For now, I'll just cram it into our system. When we go to do our cleanup episode, we will give it its permanent home. But then we will have the system export smooth stone into it, and it will import lava into our applied energistics system. And then up here in our power room, we will have lava being exported into this system. We can actually probably have it export right into the entangled tank. That way we don't have to worry about having it up here in this room. We can all keep it contained in one area. That's probably what we'll do, because I do have the entangled tank that I made, the secondary one, right here. So we will use that. So all we have to do is wait for this furnace to get finished crafting and this electric mixer, and we can get that all set up. Oop, electric mixer just finished. So now we're just waiting on the bronze furnace, which is going to take a little while longer while it makes the plates. I decided that a good place to put the system that we're working on is up here in our processing room. This is where we have all of our ore processing going on. This is all going to get redesigned very shortly, but this is going to become an area where anything that is automatically stocked in the system is built up here. It also is a place where I have access to some free cables if I need them, and some steam. So I ran steam from our Steam network, and I ran it down here, and what I have set up here is I have my cobblestone generator, the furnace, and the mixer. The steam comes in and adds steam into the furnace, and it also adds steam into this LV steam turbine, which I then have a power cable coming from to go into our electric mixer. The electric mixer I put in goblins. The electric mixer I put in 1 bucket of lava, which is all it's going to need. And then I have an export fluid pipe. I made it orange since it's lava, makes sense. That goes from there into our entangled tank to put lava in. So, what I need to do next is put in an item pipe on each of these. And so we will put in an extract item pipe here. And we will put it into an input here, which should mean that we have, if this is going to let it work, oh, that's right. This is set to whitelisting now, so we need to enable it. And then this also needs to be blacklisted so that we can enable it. So now cobblestone gets put into the furnace, and smooth stone's being made. So now we'll do the same thing here, where we connect this to here. And let's go in and set these manually. We'll do output whitelist, so we can put the smooth stone in, and we'll blacklist here so that it lets the smooth stone go in here. So this is generating lava for us. It's taking cobblestones being made here. In the end, it looks like the Mark III is unnecessary. This is not going to process that fast, but whatever. We may upgrade it later to go faster if that becomes necessary. But so the stone going in here, this lava is not consumed. It is creating lava here, which is then being piped into our entangled tank. Does that make sense? I guess it's filling up our pipe, maybe? Where's my lava going? Did it finish any yet? Takes a good bit of time, but it should be okay, because this is going to continue running for a large amount of time in between. What I may do is come up here and put in a buffer tank so that we can make sure that this is always running. It will continue to make lava for us to store. Yeah, there we go. So now it's being stored in the pipe, and it's got the entangled tank fill. So let's go back down to our, actually we want to go to main storage, drop down. Let's go down here, pull off these tanks we no longer need. Means we can get rid of this and this. So if we were to take, let's sit this down for a minute. If we were to take out lava from our entangled tank, what we should see is that slowly getting filled back up. So let's go up. We can actually watch that from upstairs while we work on the system over here. Right underneath this room. So this lava is pumping into here. Got none in here. And this tank is slowly filling back up. It's going to take quite a bit of time. So like I said, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this entangled tank. And since I have the tank here, I'll use this portable tank that's almost full. And then we will put our entangled tank one more step down. And we'll use our wrench to connect it. And then we will go in, make this input, that's fine. And this one we want to be extract. So now the lava that's in this tank is filling this up. This will be emptying into our portable tank here. And this will continue to make stone for us until this back stuffs. And this will provide the cobblestone for us. So now basically we're taking steam and turning it into lava is what this entire system does. We input steam from our steam network and output lava to our power network. Easy peasy. When we go to redesign this whole room, I probably will clean this up quite a bit and make it a little neater, make it a little more compact. These cables, for example, can all overlap each other, so there's no reason to have it drawn out like this, but I wanted to make it as easy as possible to understand what was going on. So we'll condense it down once we come up here to redesign this room, but for now, that provides us with unlimited lava for our system. And what we would be limited by is if we start using so much power that these are burning through the lava faster than we can generate it. But that's why we have a large buffer tank. We're not really pulling from our power system in large, like, continuous bursts. We might do a large burst when we run something, like when we do a big craft or whatnot. But we're not constantly drawing from the power in large amounts. So it'll give the system time to catch up if we use a large chunk of lava. We have a pretty big buffer. We have that tank that has 128 buckets in it before this entangled tank, and then we have a 16 bucket buffer here. So unless we're using more lava than that in a very short period of time, we should be fine. I have set up one more loop of crafting to complete the puzzle on the lava. And it's a bit of a doozy to follow, but it all involves this steam quarry. So we'll start here. I have an export bus from our system, which knows how to make bronze drills, that says to craft bronze drills and put them into here so that this quarry can continue to run using a bronze drill. If we look at, so let's look at it this way. If we look at the quarry, the bronze drill provides iron, coal, copper, and tin. It provides other stuff as well, which is a bonus, but it provides those things. The coal gets processed and exported into our large steam boiler, which provides steam, which is used to generate both our resources being processed into ingots and our lava. The rest of the materials from the quarry, the iron, the copper, and the tin, are all used in the recipe to make the bronze drills. So the bronze drills get exported into here. They have a 1% chance of being destroyed, but they also have a 5% chance of creating the copper, the iron, and the tin that we need to make more of them. So we'll get a net gain on those resources. The only piece of the crafting puzzle for a bronze drill that we don't have done by that quarry is that a bronze drill uses the iron gears, just use iron. The item pipes use just bronze and steel, which is made from iron and coal. The bronze drill head itself is just made from entirely bronze, which is copper and tin. The only thing missing is when we make a fluid pipe, and now you can ignore that it's red stained glass because we're just going to use regular glass, but we need glass panes to make these pipes when we need them. We don't need a ton of it, but we do need glass. So eventually we would run out of the materials we need to make bronze drills if we just left this sit. So what we did, let me see if I can get over here easy, is in our auto processing room, since we already had a spot set up where we had a cobblestone generator next to steam, we created a line where we're pulling cobblestone out. It's being ground into gravel. The gravel is being ground into sand, and the sand is being imported in the system as long as we do not have more than 2,000 sand. So now we can continue to make bronze drill heads and run them through this quarry forever, because this quarry will make more resources to make more bronze drills than we'll ever use. And as a bonus, all the things that we get from a quarry, aside from the fact that we'll have eventually, very slowly, infinite iron, copper, tin, and coal is we'll also get silver, gold, ruby, and redstone stockpiling. So now we have infinite power, both on the steam turbine side, generating EU from the steam, and we have infinite power on the FE side with our power generators generating power from lava that's being made using that EU, and we have infinite resources coming in. We will want to go into the next level of quarry to get to the electric quarry to get even more resources. Excuse me. The electric quarry will generate things like diamonds and emeralds and even more things for us once we get that set up. And we will need to scale up our system as we go because we're going to be using more and more power. These little LV steam turbines are not going to generate enough power for us forever. And the same with our actual steam. We'll probably need to scale that up as well. But all the building blocks are here for infinite resources. Next episode, we are definitely going to be working on taking all these pieces that we have all over the place, just jammed into corners of different rooms, and we're going to build a section for each of them. I'm going to start with power. I want to have a room that is dedicated not only to the magmators and stuff like that, but also to the future of this mod, because we'll be moving into nuclear power with it as well down the road. But that's going to be what we focus on during the next episode. I hope there wasn't too much going on in this one for you to understand what was going on, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.